Take me
I just like dealing with these animals. I like to see them when they're little and then grow up, and when they buck like a big guy off, one of the top 5 in the world, it makes you feel pretty good that your bull's doing that.
Well, my dad always rode bulls, and he started raising them when he was young, and we've been in it for 35 years now. So basically since I've been 16, I took it over, and it's been kind of my baby ever since.
My family's been in it for years. We've been doing it since the early 50s. And I've grown up with it. My grandfather got into some cows, and then it went down the generations to finally got to me, and I kind of have been doing it since I was a little guy.
The contracting side of things has always intrigued me since I was a little kid. I liked bucking bulls, and growing up in a family of bull riders, bullfighters. The bulls of it, you know, always was something that I liked and wanted to be a part of at some point.
I got into it because I like the sport, and I like the bull side of things. I just like that they're athletes and how much potential they show, and kind of that you can start them young and grow with them type deal.
The cross that we use on these animals has been bred into them for generations and generations, so we kind of got the program figured out for all these animals now, that what works and what doesn't work, and guys, you know, are trying new things all the time, and we have our own bloodlines kind of that we kind of keep to the side. This is called the Burton line of breeding that's come from Canada into the Mexico.
Everybody has their own opinion. My opinion is genetics is 80% of the buck and bull industry. So what we do is we take a bull that bucks and find a cow that bucks, breed them together, and hopefully the chances that their calf will buck is what we're trying. And then sometimes they fight in the back.
For me, I try to always raise the best ones that I can possibly raise. I go back into the generations of their bloodlines, try to figure out what works the best to make the best bucking bull, and I bring them to town.
A lot of attitude, consistency in the bull that was, you know, previously before that as a bucking bull himself. The mom side of things, you know, a lot of kick and athleticism, I guess you were looking for. So you kind of can see it in their structure and how they move.
We take our heifers, we buck them. We hope that they all buck, but ones that don't, we sell, and then the ones that do, we keep. And then I guess what you're doing is you're getting rid of that line that maybe isn't performing the way you want it to.
We buck them like we do our bulls, see what's the best ones, and go from there. Yeah, it'll work for, you know, for hopefully forever, but sometimes you get crossed too far on one side and it may not last that long. So a guy has to dip back and try something different, but it's a process and it's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, when I first had them, like these bulls are all athletes. They're just like the guys getting on them, so we start them young. Some guys actually take them right off the cow and buck them. I like to take them off the cow, run them through the chute, kind of get them into a routine of, you know, what they have to do when they're behind here, so they kind of understand. If they know that nothing's going to hurt them, then they stay calm.
It's kind of like raising your own kid. You know, you get to see them right from babies being born into yearlings, into 2-year-olds when you start putting a dummy on their back and start doing the training and the necessities that it takes to raise a bucking bull.
We put a dummy on them, start at 15 pounds. It's just a little black box. It's got 2 batteries inside of it with a trunk release. Same kind of contraption that you'd find on a set of keys to open the trunk of a car. And then, like I said, that goes on top of the bull where the rider would be, and we latch it, and then there's a cinch on there that we tighten so the dummy doesn't fall off.
This will not be the first time they've had bulls in a shoot. Battle-hardened veterans that are our judges here. We got things organized. Mr. Kurlitz has got the flag in the air.
And then when they show something that we like, so if they're out of a left-hand delivery and they turn back to the left after the door opens, then we'll trip that dummy and make it feel like they win. So the more and more you do that, then they get in the routine that, hey, every time that this door opens, I turn left, I'll trip that dummy, and then I win, and that thing's off me, and I can leave. So it's just pretty much keep building a routine, start them as a yearling.
I'm going to be able to call you anything but Big Chief from now on. Here we go. Yeah. All right.
What we're looking for is bulls that basically jump the highest, kick the hardest, spin, speed. You know, if they're a little quicker than the rest and they have a little more intensity, those are some of the things we're looking for sure.
You can see the effort at least. Like sometimes they don't get it the first try. It takes, some bulls take 10 trips before they show it, but as long as they're trying, you stick with them and keep trying them.
You know which ones have it in them, and then those are the ones that we continue to keep in our program to see how far they will go.
This is what we're looking for. Heck of a little go. Yeah.
Futurity is for young bulls, anywhere from yearlings to 2-year-olds. They put what they call a bucking dummy on their back. Once the time is up, say 4 seconds or whatever, it's a push button. It works great. The flank falls off as well. It's just like a regular process of a rider getting on an older bull, but this is a smaller version of it. It's a good learning curve for the bulls as they get older, but it's a great way to, those bulls can make money at a young age, and it helps the process of the whole situation of, it's expensive going down the road with these animals, and trying to get the more bang for your buck is always a good thing.
You bring your younger animals to town, you test them against other younger animals, and it encourages a little bit more performance, and it encourages an opportunity for them to get in front of people.
This 2-year-old is this is where he gets to show off what he's got, and then kind of lets people know, like a draft year kind of. For us guys, stock contractors, we get to draft these animals, make sure these animals are doing what we want them to do so we can put a rider on them.
Your extra points were in the first about.
And then we go until 3-year-old and then put riders on them.
Don't pack them too hard when they're 3 because they're still pretty young and wild, but as 4-year-olds, they're ready to go.
They turn 3 years old, you can start putting a guy on their back if they're good enough size. 4-year-olds, you start taking them to competitions and start seeing them turn into real live bucking bulls. And it's similar to a person that's maybe a hockey player or something. You work your way up the ranks and the different leagues and age groups, and then you get to see them flourish, and hopefully one day they can make the NHL. It's far and few in between, and if you get one that does do that, it just makes you that much prouder to be able to watch them right from day one and work their way up and buck under the big lights at the PBR World Finals in Las Vegas.
More trips is good. It keeps them seasoned, right, and keeps them fresh. Learning at a young age, their brain kind of works a little slower, but once they're doing it this long enough, that as an older bull, that you can tell that they've been handled a lot easier.
That's what it is. See, it's not
Our busy season, I guess, starts, we kind of have a little bit of a lull, but it pretty much starts April is when things really pick up and go until August.
On the road is the first thing. We leave from home and we could be gone for weeks at a time.
We do a bunch of ABBI competitions, PBR bulls all across Canada. We've been fortunate enough to have some bulls at the World Finals.
On weekends, depending on where and when our rodeo is or bull riding is, come in the morning, give bulls a little bit of grain. I don't like to feed hay on the day that they buck. Like I said, they're athletes, so swimmers don't eat too much before they swim. We try to keep them as empty as they can so they can perform on an empty stomach, not a full stomach. I like to be there like 4 to 3 hours ahead of time so they can, get to the event, get in their pens, lay down, relax. Some bulls handle that differently. So like a nervous bull, it's a new area for him, so he'll be a little more high strung, where a quieter bull kind of just gets in his pen and will lay down, relax. So, and then we start loading bulls into the load ups 15 minutes before performance time, and then we buck them. Load them back up, bring them home, and then feed them whenever we get home.
We go from coast to coast, so we're in BC all the way out to St. John, so it's a long travel and into the States and back, but it's kilometer-wise, I don't know, it'd be thousands and thousands of miles, yeah.
This year, maybe like 70,000, pretty close. Well, longest drive, I guess, would be Texas, but to go into an event would be Las Vegas. That's about, from here down there is like 26 hours. So, and it's pretty hard. Like, it's tough for animals to be on the trailer, so we try to split it up as much as we can. Going to Vegas, as soon as we cross the border, we're not allowed to stop. So we try to go to somewhere close, and then we'll stop there, let the bulls rest tonight, and then start in the morning and get to Vegas as quick as we can.
I can't do it by himself for the whole year. You got to have people working with you, and it's a big process and a lot of work time involved, and family's a big thing too. They're always with us and helping out. December is probably our slowest time, but throughout the year it's between PBRs now all winter. Rodeo kicks off usually in May till August, September, so it's every month.
I look for, the exotic. I like bulls that get up in the air, kick over their head. They have to turn back, but when you see it, you know that bull's gonna be really good.
Buck them for sure 3-4 times to decide what they're going to be, and then you'll know. It's easy, lots of kick. Don't have to turn back necessarily the first time, but you can tell they've got some action, and they'll be around for a while.
Luck is a part of it. It's kind of like what I compare these bulls to are kids at hockey. By the time kids are 10 years old, you can kind of tell which kids are going to excel at hockey and which ones are just going to play hockey until they're old enough to not play hockey.
It's pretty cool. I've had a few bulls go to the World Finals now, and last year we sold our bull that we took to the World Finals, and he was the one that won this buckle. So yeah, it's cool when you can go somewhere and have the best bull there.
Okay, hammer down now, hey? It's another one. It's all money, all money.
As a group, the stock contractors are truly the guys that put this forward.
Yeah, for bull riding contractors, we wouldn't have a sport if it wasn't for the contractors. They take care of these animals and raise them to have the best animals they could possibly bring to every event, and they treat them like rock stars. They're treated better than us. They get put before even their own meals. They go get fed, everything. As soon as you wake up, it's out to the bulls, feed them before you eat. So if we didn't have these guys, we wouldn't have a sport.
Every aspect of ride, half our score comes from the bull, so if we don't have a bull that performs well, we're not going to have a very good score, so they're our base of our ride. If we have a really good bull, pretty good chance we can get a high score, so they're all the contractors that breed them year in and year out, they're keeping our sport alive. Over the years, the bulls just keep getting better and better. The breeding programs are so awesome now that the bulls just keep getting better and there's more of them.
The PBR's brought that on since day one. They've 25 years ago when they've come around, brought a lot more guys into the picture. Guys were interested in it, so there's way more than there used to be. But the breeding of the bulls is about the same. Just lots more guys involved. It's better for the sport. You guys got to, look after yourself though, and make sure everything's going for what you want to do, and just kind of compete with the best, and that's how it kind of ends up.
Definitely, from the time I started in years, kind of was. They had bucking bulls, but they weren't. The breeding wasn't there. But now, progressing through my career, it's changed quite rapidly. They're getting more and more similar to the bulls in the States. We're getting the speed, the power, size, everything. It's been proven. We're getting more and more bulls down to that PBR World Finals.
They're the big, solid, mature bulls, and that's where you see the talent really come to the table. Those big animals that are coming to the table with all their cards.
No butter! No butter!
Over the past few years, you're seeing a lot more Canadian bulls getting sent down there and bought. I say we have a pretty good percentage for how many contractors we have up here. So there's, just for example, the World Finals last week, I think there's 10 bulls from Canada alone that got sent down, and there's probably another 10 or 15 that have been down there for a couple of years. So I'd say we're catching up to them just for the small amount of contractors we have breeding them.
We're getting better bulls. More guys are coming up here to get on, and vice versa. We're going down there and being able to compete a little better because we're used to that caliber of bulls now since we have more of them in Canada.
I know when I was a bull rider, those are the ones that I wanted to get on. Those every time, the ones that nobody else could ride or nobody could stay on. Those are the ones that you wanted to have besides your name, because if you rode them, you were winning first place no matter what. Also, I like to have some good ones for the guys to get on, keep them happy, make sure that they want to keep coming back and getting on and having fun doing it. So I kind of have both sides of the coin when it comes to raising these bulls.
Favorite, but it was a Canadian title of the final day.
Push him over.
These bulls are treated better than their wives probably. They get grade A attention, they get the best feed and exercise, and that's how they make their living is with these stock. They got a bunch of cows, and they take their top bulls, put them on their top cows, and just keep raising these bad suckers for us to ride. And yeah, we just it gives us a job and gives them a job, and it's great. We love it.
If they come around and looked at what we're up to, it'd be a whole different story. Like, we look at them, like I said, like our kids. We treat them like their family, and we love that we have to look after them to look after us.
I speak for myself, but we take pride in the way we treat our animals. They get fed the best feed. They get trained every day. They get the best of the best. They get to ride in one of the safest, best trailers, I think, that's going down the road in Canada right now. And then our facility is bar none probably one of the best that money can buy. If people do have questions or don't know about stuff, they're more than welcome to always come to the farm, because we let anybody come in and take a look. There's nothing to hide here, and the animals will prove to anybody that the way they look and the way they act, that abuse is never a thing around here. They're going to work.
They're our pets, they're one of our family. They're not mistreated in any way. They're our children, and you can see it in our kids when they look at these bulls and they remember them from the last time that they seen them, and they want to go and pet them and hang out with them and watch them buck and have success. So it's just a pretty cool aspect that I think is there's so many misconceptions about it that people don't understand how much these things and these animals actually mean to us. And if they come out and see it and get to have a behind the scenes experience, I think they'd realize what these things really mean to us.
I'd say in the last.
Best part of the job is the people that were around with the PBR and other rodeos, and you meet a lot of friends and then family coming with you. I'd say that's probably the best. You get to see everybody every other weekend and hang out. It's a pretty good deal.
Best part of my job, I'd say, is the bulls, I guess, just dealing with them. It's something that I love to do. My family's all a part of it. It starts with, my dad helping me out every day. My mom helping me out every day, and my brothers and sisters, you know, coming to events, videotaping bulls for me or whatever. So it's kind of not just me now, it's everybody involved.
It's amazing for me to do this alongside my dad and my brothers and my father-in-law and our whole family. You know, we get to go out to the house and bring the bulls in and we'll buck the bulls, you know, for the first time, or we'll start dummy bucking stuff, and we can all do it together. We can enjoy it and you know, kind of make bets on which one we think is going to be the good one, or you know, what do you think they're going to do, and just have fun with it. You know, it's a family affair, and I got 2 little girls that enjoy it as well, that they get to watch it and watch us go through all the motions and also get to see these things.